the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.
We weren't recording? The beginning of the show is going to be
so
over.
we missed. Let me tell you something. That was probably the best words that Noel and I had ever spoken. That I don't know.
About your children?
Yeah. We were talking about how great our
We
kids
were
are.
talking about children. And we were talking. That's no, because I could just play it over just the audio part, just no video. You're right.
With the Biofriendly logo.
Just with
That
a
could be
logo
like,
and just
the
say
intro.
and just write. Ken Brandmeier forgot to hit record. Brandmeier! Our dear friends at the end of the hall that are moving away.
It does sound like a lawyer. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's
such
very
a
lawyer. I mean, when he was 5.
His partner's literally named Law.
Yeah, it is, right?
LAW.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. That guy, that was like, there's last names that you get in life that you go, this is my career.
Yeah.
You have last names Law, you have Chance the Rapper. Like, he didn't have a lot of choice.
Yeah, what do you not be a rapper if
No.
your name's Chance the Rapper?
Yeah.
Of course you're going to be a rapper.
You're Chance the Rapper. That's
yeah,
your
well, if your name's DJ Quick, you better be fast at DJing.
Yeah, you got if your name is Tom Petty, boy, you are
Boy,
petty.
you are not fun to negotiate with.
Oh my gosh.
I have a piece of orange that
It wasn't a napkin.
I'm just going to leave it
Can
there.
somebody hook a dude up with the napkin? He's throwing oranges, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at those hands.
Okay, I have one rule.
Love it.
I have
Love
one
it.
rule with now that we're returning to old school format, which is you guys
Well,
got to
thank
speak
you,
into the
Elise.
microphone if you're talking to us. You got to speak in the microphone.
Yeah, because
otherwise it
if we
sounds
have
like
to
this.
turn you up.
It sounds like
Like when we were whispering.
no, I know, but I'm just saying when you're going to talk, you got to because like
That
you're
was
so,
Exhibit A right there. They both half went towards the microphone, sort of.
Yeah.
Said, I see your...
you got to get right.
I'm so... if it wasn't for this napkin...
Yeah.
This show's a joke.
This show is a joke. That was one of our older tags.
Yeah.
This show is a joke. If it wasn't for this napkin,
Are we ready to continue?
Looking with the orange.
Children, are we ready to continue the show?
I'll turn this podcast right around.
I will turn it around.
You did the Trump face.
Did I? I don't even know what the Trump face is. So I do it naturally because apparently I'm Donald Trump. Oh, Jacob did it? All right.
Okay.
What I was trying to say is if it wasn't for this napkin,
Yeah.
they would have been Disastertron today
Disastertron.
because they didn't turn on the camera in time.
No. They didn't talk into the microphone.
They didn't talk into the microphone, and then when we specifically said to talk in the microphone, they just mumbled over
They
each
just
other.
mumbled each other. Oh,
I mean,
my goodness.
what a horrible start.
What a horrible start.
We'll get our shit together. Oh, wait. My bad.
We'll bleep it.
It's fine.
It's okay. You were talking into the microphone, so nobody could hear it.
Yeah, nobody will hear it anyway. Well, there is a lot of, this is a lot of fun and merriment back to the show, which is nice, because like she's talking in it now. Now she's,
This is how close I
Be sure to wait until Jacob starts the show before you talk into the mic.
you know what? It does feel like we just recorded a podcast like 5 minutes ago. So I guess we're back again.
We're
So
gonna get the jitters out. That's
the jitters, yeah, because that's what we definitely have on the show, the jitters.
You know what we
Nobody's
need?
nervous to be on the air except for Veronica.
Except for
maybe.
Veronica, who's been crushing it. What do we need? We need to raise that microphone. The microphone is because they are trying to. They need the opposite of the Denmark bench we talked about last week.
Yes.
They need like a super low bench.
You just need, they need a low bench. The thing is, the microphone you guys is pointed so far down that you guys are having to like go like this to talk into it. So there you go. There you go. That's better. Now try yours, Veronica. Say hello.
Hello.
Oh my
There
God,
we
that's
go.
the first time anyone has ever heard Veronica on the show.
Let this be recorded in the Smithsonian that Veronica spoke. So that orange looks delicious. I'm glad you're eating
it
it.
is so good.
Yeah. You're fighting away the scurvy is what you're doing.
Well, I've been dealing with scurvy.
You have been. You've had a rough battle with scurvy.
I had a rough battle with scurvy.
Yeah.
I went on a pirate cruise where our job was to go pillage other people's boats.
It was
and yachts.
that themed pirate cruise you wanted to go on so bad you didn't realize that they actually give you scurvy on the cruise.
Yes, and they actually expect you to commit piracy.
To go and rob people on the open seas.
I ran so many people through.
Oh my! You ran them through with your blade.
You have no idea the amount of throughing that was run.
Well, last week I had 3 stories, and I saved the other 3 because we decided
science.
Yeah, we did sciencey stuff. Yeah,
right?
Space.
Okay.
Yes. Now the crazy thing is I blew it.
You did?
I did. You want to know why I blew it?
Why'd you blow it?
Because last week you said.
Let's
do all space.
Oh, and you did that stupid Copenhagen one.
Yes. So I don't know why after we just had that conversation where you're like, let's do all space. So I have a leftover space.
You have a leftover space.
I have a leftover space. I'm so sorry.
Man.
I know. I don't know.
The show really is back.
It really is back. We are back better than ever.
Better than ever. Do you know? Okay, I think a lot of people might be like, I was liking having the little bite-sized morsels.
Sure.
And I think some people are like, God, I wish the old show was back. But here's the bright side for everybody.
What's the bright side?
I have a bright side here. This is good. And it's not the world's going to end and most of us are going to die like last week.
Like last week?
No. The bright side in this situation is I believe that we got sharper and better from having to do the other show.
Yeah.
And I think that when we come back, now that we're back to our old format, I think we're a little better.
We're sharper.
A little better.
Yes.
Also, learning that having lots of topics to talk about and lots of things to educate people on, I think was good for it. I think
Agreed.
Having a few things to talk about every week is a plus.
I agree. And I think that maybe, after you're on the air for a long time and you go, this week we're talking about bananas. Or this week we're talking about fish. Or whatever it is. Oftentimes we found ourselves riffing because the category banana fish.
You know them.
We had to find a way to start digging into some of the positive news stories, the things that are happening, but be able to go in and out of stories and jokes like even better, sharper, faster than ever. Yeah. And that's what we're doing.
And that's where we are. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
That's what you've got. That's the bright side to our 3-month excursion to perfect a show that we're not going to do.
I know, and I've wondered, do you think that when people discover the podcast and they get to that era, it'll be known as like a certain season? You'll almost go, well, I've been listening to Biofriendly Podcast since the beginning, and we'll never forget the season where they went insane.
Where they lost their marbles.
They started saying "This Week in Green" every segment. Their audio went,
This Week in Green.
Their audio went south for like a month straight because they could not figure out how to get lavaliers to work.
Yep. And now here we are with great quality sound.
Great quality sound, and we no longer have the stands that sink and fall.
Because we had a sound engineer. Our good friend Tim popped over and told us what the heck to do, and it's lit.
It's lit.
So you can see us.
Yes, we're well lit, and we kind of look like a couple of sportscasters. Right? Like the bottom of the ninth.
Daryl Strawberry swings, and it's a high drive ball to deep right field. She is gone.
That's exactly what it is. But we're like eco-casters.
Yeah, eco-casters.
Yeah. So, are we ready to dig in the first one, even though I screwed up and I accidentally did a layover space story?
I think we've had enough nonsense for the morning. We can continue.
Just dig in. Yeah. Should I start with space? Should I put it in the middle? What do you think I should do here?
Do you have an idea for the last thing? Because it seemed like the reason that we got screwed up last week is because you had in your mind, this is a really good ender.
I did.
And so you did the ender.
I did the ender.
Right.
I did. Because I wanted to tell Noel so bad about benches that were off the ground. Because I knew it would get a laugh, and it did. I was right.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I don't have an idea for an ender. I have an idea for an opener. I have a story that I think is one that I think you'll be like, whoa, interesting, cool.
Then let's finish with space.
Okay, let's finish with space. Okay, deal.
50-50 shot. He does space second. 50-50 shot.
He's right, folks. He's correct. I actually forget everything from minute to minute. I'm literally a living Dory.
I'm Jacob. I'm Noel, your co-host. That's what makes you great. That's what makes you great. That's what keeps the comedy fresh. Your brain is constantly rebuilding itself.
Constantly. The thing is, I hope they say that in my eulogy. The thing about Jacob Givens is his brain was constantly rebuilding itself.
Oh, that's a tag. Someone write that down. Yeah. Jacob's brain is constantly rebuilding itself.
Please hold on to that. That's good. So the first story, now at first you might be like, This might be one of those things when you hear the headline, you go, this is basic, and I knew this already. But as I read the article further, I was like, this seems to be pretty interesting. Okay. So bear with me. I'm nervous. Okay. Because sometimes I fail.
Yeah. Really well, like in a good way.
Yes. Hawaii-based startup unveils world's first ocean carbon removing machine.
Ooh.
Is that...
What is it?
Okay. So... Cutting greenhouse gas emissions at the source should be the main goal when tackling climate change, right?
You have to say that or they cancel you on Twitter.
Right. You have to say that thing. So there's this company called Heimdall. Okay? I think I'm saying it right.
I believe it's Hyundai.
That's a good callback to last week's show. So this process that they've invented involves pumping salt water into a machine, which uses electricity to tweak molecular bonds in the water, removing acid. Okay. The resulting acid comes in the form of hydrochloric acid, which can then be used in many different industrial applications. Okay. The acid-free seawater is then pumped back into the ocean where it will naturally capture CO2. So we're taking the acid out of ocean water.
One of the issues you have with the increased CO2, the increased carbon, and the increased heat is greater acidity in the water. And that is one of the reasons why my poor, darling coral reefs that I love so much are bleaching and dying off.
Yes, exactly.
So this seems to be a direct solution to that.
Yeah. My nose is running again because Noel made me laugh. Could somebody give me a tissue? He makes me laugh and my nose weeps. It happens every show. It's like he tells one joke and my nose goes, I can't anymore. I can't hold on to this anymore. Just somebody, please.
That is so sweet of you to say that, Jacob.
It happens every time.
His brain rebuilds and his nose weeps.
Please say that at my funeral.
Yeah.
Okay. So, thank you for the tissues. Okay. So, back to the story.
Back
to the story.
The story.
Okay. So, you guys probably knew this already, but for those of you who didn't,
they knew this.
The ocean currently absorbs about a third of the carbon dioxide humans release into the atmosphere.
Definitely knew that.
Yeah, you knew that already. Okay. As the CO2 dissolves in the seawater, it contributes to ocean acidification. So the problem is we're absorbing quite a lot, and the oceans, as he said, is getting very acidified. Okay, threatening the survival of corals, like he just said. While the startup's new process can help reduce ocean acidification on a local scale, its main focus is to capture high amounts of CO2 from the air. So they're doing both.
Right.
They're capturing CO2 from the air, and they're also taking the acid out of the ocean. So it sounds like they're doing a lot of cool stuff, but how do you get it on? There's a lot of ocean.
There's a lot of ocean. And so in order to remove the level of acid that we would need to make it as absorbing as it could be, you would have to have a machine. It's not going to work, but I love the spirit.
Yes, there's a good spirit behind it. So so the current direct air capture technologies typically use large fans to pull in and capture CO2 from the air. Hyundai's machine looks at the ocean instead, where there's a greater concentration of CO2 than in the air, enabling it to capture higher volumes of this planet-warming gas. So this was something that I was like, okay, we had talked about. Remember a couple weeks ago we had the thing that was the size of the suitcase that could desalinate the water, right? It could take the salt out of it. And we've talked about kelp farms and things like that absorbing.
Yeah.
But this idea of helping our oceans not be as acidic, thoughts?
Well, I think everything helps.
Everything helps.
I think coming up with new tech is a good idea, right?
Okay, yeah.
Mass producing the tech at the levels you need to
make a difference.
Refresh the ocean. I think some people don't. I think there's a real misunderstanding of how big Earth is.
I think you're right. I think that you forget how huge this planet is.
You forget how huge Earth is, and you forget how much of it is water, and you forget how just how much. Just walk from where you are to the closest grocery store.
Okay.
And then walk home, and then think about how long that took you.
Yeah.
And then think about the distance then. Look up how far that was, and it was probably a mile or less.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you walking there and walking back, it took quite a lot of time, right?
Right.
Now zoom the map out and then take a look at how big that amount of distance is when you look at the Earth in its size.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Nothing.
And you could spend your whole life walking around the Earth, and it would be an interesting. You would see. You would keep seeing new stuff.
You could Forrest Gump it, and you could run across the United States a couple times, but you're never you're never gonna see it all.
If you wanted to have the project of I'm going to see every single square inch of Earth, you couldn't do it. You'd be dead.
Impossible.
You'd die.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't do it. You people out there that want to see every part of the world, it's never going to happen.
Give up.
I'm kidding.
Give up.
Okay.
Please don't do that.
The Earth is very large. It's huge.
Right.
Never was that more true for me than everyone, I think, in this lifetime, you should go for a light walk, run, jog of at least a mile.
Yeah.
And experience what that is.
Yeah.
Like when I started running and I was on this race and it was like, this run is a 4-mile run, right?
Right.
And you're running along the beach or whatever and you go, when's the turnaround point? Like what's my marker for the mile? And you look ahead and you go, oh, it's so far.
So far.
It's so far. And you realize, you go, a mile is a long way for a human being. It is, I mean, it's not ridiculous. We can walk to the store. We could go down to, the mall down here. It's a mile and a half.
Cool stuff to see or a nice person to talk with. You do it without realizing it.
You go for a jog. You listen to some music. You enjoy nature. You could go on a 5-mile hike and not even know because it's so lovely.
Absolutely. But it's going to take you time.
Yeah. But when you're sitting there and you look at it, you go, wow, it's a long ways away. And so when you think about when somebody says, oh, that's 3,000 miles away, or it's this long around the world, you realize this place is huge.
This place
is huge.
It's huge.
It's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And that's the land.
Right. And we're not talking about...
The ocean is 70% of the planet, and we're not even talking about depth.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, think about when you walk up a mountain, all of that extra going up.
Yeah.
Right? So they have down in the ocean.
Yeah.
And all of it is filled with water.
Yeah. There's too much water.
It is an astronomical amount of water. There's the amount of molecules in the sky that make up our atmosphere. It's just it's
staggering.
Crazy how much it is.
So
it's so much.
The point of that being, we have this machine that's being built to clean the water of its acid and capture CO2 from the air, which is great. Mm-hmm. And so we need all these efforts. It's just that it's like when we see these pieces of technology, you go, that plus maybe reducing our CO2 is important.
This is why you get canceled on Twitter if you don't open the article with, of course, we need to cut down our carbon footprint. Right. Because let's just be straight about it.
Right.
The things that are producing the lots and lots and lots of carbon emissions are what we have to stop those.
Right.
That really is step one. That's like step one is we got to figure out how to pollute less.
Right.
Beyond, again, I always say it's beyond carbon CO2 for all the other thousands of reasons why we shouldn't be polluting the air.
Yeah.
Right. To stop asthma in kids.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of reasons why we need to stop polluting.
Yeah.
And that is step one. If we can create our energy in a more clean way, and then we can use our energy in a more clean way, then that is going to make all of the difference in the first place. And then from there we can say, and I don't mind starting that now. I love new technologies. I love tech.
Yeah.
I love
absolutely.
I love it. But if we start to do that, then we can also take advantage of what the planet does by itself. It is a closed loop system that is designed to handle these problems if we allow it to do that job.
Right.
So if you want to take the acidification out of the ocean, again, we got to grow some more kelp.
Right.
We can focus on that. We could do that, and we could use the oil from the kelp to make plastics and stuff.
Right.
Like there are natural ways that we can do this that will, like, once you make some, it will grow by itself. Yeah. It'll take off. Earth will help you.
Yeah.
If you get some things started, Earth will help that process.
Right.
By itself.
Right. And
so I think we need to look more at, I think some of those kinds of things as to what we're doing, because I think that if you get a kelp forest going, if you get just natural forests going, like they start to take off on their own, particularly under these conditions, because the stuff that we're trying to get rid of are what they need to survive.
Right.
So that's my...
Yeah, your 2 cents is great.
Cents.
Invent, create, build the tech, but the bigger problem is stop piling on. Right? It's like if you've got a landfill, you can create something that can take the trash in the landfill and start breaking it down. But if you're still adding to the landfill, we're never gonna stop it.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
like just the more efficient we can be, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like you're cleaning something out and then dumping on top of it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, well, we got to stop dumping on top of it, and then we can also clean it out. So
Yeah, exactly,
point.
exactly. I mean, at some point we are going to have to start finding ways to get the carbon out of the atmosphere and to get the carbon, to get the CO2 out of the water, sure, to lower the acidification. That's we're going to have to do that. We're going to figure that out.
Yeah.
But we also have to, like you said, stop adding to it.
I'll stop adding to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
which by the way, while I'm ranting, we're doing a better job of that here actually than in a lot in
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I know we natural
Here at Biofriendly, we are killing
here
it.
at Biofriendly in
the United States.
in North America.
Okay,
Yeah. We're doing a better job of it, and Europe they're doing a better job of it. I mean, in a lot of places they're doing a pretty good job. Like Japan, they do a great job of it.
Yeah.
There are definitely places where we've kind of figured a better balance and are causing a lot less damage, and in some cases very little. But as a planet, it's a big we're saying it's a big planet. There's a lot of places and a lot of different countries and a lot of people all over the place who are doing their part to try to catch up technologically, and that's creating a lot of pollution. China and India, they produce like 60% of the problem.
Yeah.
Right?
You guys need to stop that.
Yeah.
China and India.
Which would be easy for us to say if we didn't want all of our stuff.
We keep buying stuff.
And they got to make the stuff. And they're like, well, God, how are we going to make the stuff if we don't have energy?
So we're causing it.
Well, I'm just saying it's a
team effort.
Thing. We got to work together on this, folks.
Right. Stop buying stuff.
Stop buying stuff. Actually, we talk about that on the show.
We talk about
all
it a lot.
The time.
I know. Yeah.
Buy less stuff. Make your phone last a year more.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Let your clothes last.
Don't get the latest and greatest every single time.
Find ways to reuse your fabric. Learn how to sew. Learn how to let's definitely do less.
Yes,
Let's buy less. Buy less. Good advice.
Buy less. Well, so that was a story, not a disaster for like we said, this is not the space episode. It's ending on space, but it hasn't been dumb face yet.
No, that wasn't very funny, I guess.
Well, this next one.
We got to work on our
This
funny.
next one might be hilarious.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't
Let's
think
go.
so. Okay.
Thousands die in explosion.
No, bill for bird-friendly glass buildings proposed for Washington D.C. So
a bill for bird-friendly buildings has
glass buildings.
Bird-friendly glass buildings has been proposed in Washington D.C.
Yes. So apparently, more and more skyscrapers and buildings nowadays are glass. That's like the new rage. People are, when they build these giant towers, they're not enclosed. Everybody nowadays, because I think we're like you said on the last show, you said in the future we want to be in these domes where you can see out. Mm-hmm. Well, we're on a planet now where people are like, I don't want to be stuck inside anymore. So if you're going to make me be stuck inside, fool me a little bit. Let me see outside everywhere.
Yeah.
So all these buildings now are becoming glass buildings. Well, birds are running into them. Bad.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
And in D.C., it's a huge problem because there's a lot of birds that are trying to get into politics.
Yeah, they are.
And the moment they arrive...
It's the biggest. It's a big thing right now.
It's a huge
thing.
There's
a huge bird lobby.
You've got right wing.
And you've got left wing. And when they work together, they make a bird.
Oh, it's so stupid. You got right wing and left wing in Washington, D.C. And
they flap.
And they show up to make a difference. And
then
then
end up running into a building.
Bam. They run into a building. Yeah. So while bird death is not funny, I'm not trying to say that it's funny. I'm just trying to say that. Okay. Let me see if I can read a little bit more of this. Okay, named the Migratory Local Wildlife Protection Act of 2022, the proposed legislation would require new buildings in the U.S. Capitol to be designed with products that deter birds from colliding with their glass surfaces.
Okay.
So if approved, it would affect all new commercial, multi-unit residential, institutional, and government-owned buildings in the city. Existing buildings in these categories that are undergoing substantial renovations would also be impacted. So this is a problem because North American bird populations are decreasing, and untreated glass that they can't see, they're running into it. And that's the problem. Did you guys ever see the movie Storks?
No.
Yes, it was so cute.
It's awesome. One of the funniest things about that movie, and this is a cute way to put this, is the birds can't see glass, right? And so they have this entire sequence where there's a window moving company, and they're moving panes of glass, and he's got to run through, and he's like, oh no, oh no. He's like running through, and he can't see any of the glass. And it's just a laugh out loud funny scene where they can't see glass. So anyway, this is what's happening in DC, and thoughts. Thoughts on bird safe glass.
Well, okay. So first of all, this is going to be great. This is going to be great for the future of bird kind.
Yes.
I think that there's a lot of birds that have been living with this struggle for a long time.
Decades.
And they have been lobbying to get this fixed.
Yes.
For a while. Both with the left and the right wing.
Absolutely, both wings.
And they have now succeeded. So congratulations to the birds to finally get that. Here's the only thing is it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
Because Washington D.C. is not a place that has a lot of land left.
Yeah, that's true.
D.C.'s it's an area where they've packed in. I mean, there's some there, but you've walked around it. I mean, there are buildings on every square inch of the thing.
There are. A
so
lot of development.
I'm not that there aren't going to be new ones somewhere. I'm sure there are, and they're definitely going to renovate and renew and so on with the buildings that are there. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of bird deaths in the meantime. Yeah, just because their old buildings are still there. But that's okay.
That's okay. Well,
you can't
save every bird.
You can't save every bird.
Well, but maybe
we can start to work on it.
Maybe we could try to deter them from pursuing a career in DC. You know, like maybe we should try to say your skills would be better served elsewhere.
Have you considered tech?
Have you considered Silicon Valley?
Yeah,
because out there the buildings are really low to the ground. They got these big, massive structures. And
actually, the skyscrapers aren't that big in DC. That's what's interesting because nothing can be higher. There's a law. Nothing can be taller than the Washington Monument.
Oh, well then maybe they're flying into the Washington Monument. They can't make that transparent.
No, they can't.
No, this is terrible. They didn't think this through.
No, not at all. Well, Washington, they're probably. I would imagine that they can.
Oh my gosh!
Just the majesty of it.
Yeah. You hear that conspiracy about pigeons being drones?
Yes. Birds. Well, and I heard birds aren't real is the whole movement, which is there's no such thing as a bird. That they're all just drones, but pigeons specifically. They're spying on us.
Because they're like, have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
Yeah. There's
probably.
Here's the thing about the internet. It's full of crazies.
Isn't it?
Yeah, the same people who say pigeons are like robots that are patrolling us are the same people that think that we live on a flat Earth.
Yeah, I was about to say they're flat Earthers.
Yeah, they're flat Earthers.
There's no Australia.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that video of the guy he's got a video and he's trying to prove that the Earth is flat and he's got the two positions of two holes at a distance and he's like, when I shine this, it's gonna go right through the thing. And during the video, he sees that there's curvature and he's like, oh no. He's he's like I'm gonna be proved right. Like watch this right here, and it's like it is so great. So anyway, back to the glass thing.
They have to account for the curvature of the Earth.
Yes,
for so many things.
Yes, for so many things, and the fact that we've seen it. We've seen it. You can take a rocket and shoot it up with a GoPro on it, and you can in your backyard, and you can have it come down in the backyard. Go review the footage, and you go, oh, it's round, like I thought. You know what I mean? You can see that.
Yeah, I can't see that.
Yes, you can.
No, I think the Earth is flat.
And pigeons aren't real.
And Australia doesn't exist.
Exist. So this is just a story about they're gonna be protecting birds and putting glass that's gonna prevent them from colliding into it, and so that's a good.
What about
thing.
Flies?
Flies, they're not worried about flies. They
really?
I don't know.
Insects are getting no love?
And no love for the insects. I guess maybe...
Because let me tell you what, they should make some insect-safe glass, because every time I try to drive long distance...
Yeah, nobody's thinking about that.
The insects are my poor insect friends end up dead, their guts splattered all over my windows.
That's actually
on my
a really
windscreen.
good point. We do make so little of, bugs on the glass, bugs on the window, and all that kind of stuff. And you go, maybe they could make a windshield that says not here, guys.
Yeah.
Something that
Nobody
on the glass.
cares about insects. Nobody cares
true.
about bugs.
That's true.
Why? What's wrong with their lobby? They go down to Washington, they get thrown out the door.
That's so true.
It's so dumb.
They get killed.
They get killed. They get put in kilts, and they're forced to dance around with no pants
These
on.
bugs have no justice. So we need some birds from both the right and left wing to step forward and speak up for the bugs.
For left and right wing bugs.
For nothing else than to, if you save more of them, more food for you, birds.
Yeah.
So-
Also, how come bugs don't ever get any kind of conspiracy stuff going on? Pigeons can be ninja spies. I'm more likely to believe that a fly has been turned into a little remote control thing by the CIA than a bird.
We are being bugged, all of us.
Constantly. I'm kind of being bugged right now.
Yeah.
Maybe those are the conspiracies that we should be talking about.
We
The
should
ones
be.
that nobody
Maybe
Yeah.
the Biofriendly Podcast could be part environmental and also part conspiracy breaking news.
Yes, conspiracy breaking news.
So Noel
Illuminati.
believes. So I'm letting you guys know right now. Noel is claiming that the flies are not real. That they are little microchipped recording devices.
I'm glad that we finally had a chance to bring this to light. Flies are not a natural, earthy,
There's nothing natural about
Animal.
flies. Yeah.
All those eyes,
all those eyes.
Too many.
cameras.
Too
all
many
those eyes are
Nothing
cameras.
nothing should
and
have that many eyes.
mosquitoes. People say, what's the point of mosquitoes? It's to capture your DNA so they can clone you in the future.
This is true.
Just like they did with the dinosaurs.
Just like
That's right.
They did
That's
with
right.
the dinosaurs.
That's right. There's going to be a Jurassic Park one day, but it's going to
be us.
It's going to be people.
It's gonna be us.
It's going to be a park of people.
Caged off, looking at a bunch of really tiny humans and going like, "Why are you looking at me?" And all they hear is, "Blah."
Exactly. That's us. That's our destiny. It's going to happen. They're gonna
Congratulations. Enjoy your future.
enjoy your future. I'll be there to see it. You guys won't.
Well, he's living forever. He's a
forever.
Highlander.
Now we've landed to our last story, which is space. I didn't blow it. I
You
got
didn't
to
blow
space.
it.
I got there.
Congratulations.
Okay? So this is a cool story.
Okay.
This is a positive thing. Okay. The world's plastic waste has been mapped from space for the first time ever.
Wow.
So, a cutting-edge new tool has been created that uses satellites and AI to map thousands of piles of plastic waste from space. It's called Global Plastic Watch.
Okay.
And they can detect plastic waste sites as small as 5 by 5 meters. Is that
5 by 5 meters?
Yeah, what is-
that's big size. It's small from space.
from space?
From
So
down,
that's how much
down here. That's
How big is that?
That is a 15 foot by 15 foot
Okay.
square. That's like that room. It's like a bedroom. It's
Okay. It's like a bedroom.
Like a small bedroom. Yeah.
So that's good from space, but it means that they can't detect plastic waste if you had a water bottle on a table. They couldn't.
then I don't want the technology.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, at first I was excited, and then I read and I went, 15 by 15 feet? Please.
5 meters by 5.
I can detect that.
Yeah. I can see that. What do I need a satellite with AI for?
I can see how much plastic waste is in 15 by 15 feet.
Here's what I want to know.
Okay.
Here's skeptical Noel.
Okay.
Here he comes.
Oh, do you want to hear a little bit more before you get skeptical?
Yes,
Okay.
give me the rest.
So they're creating an interactive living map of plastic pollution in near real time. This free, publicly available tool has been developed by Australian nonprofit,
Does not exist.
Australian nonprofit, the Minderoo Foundation. That's the most Australian sounding name I've ever
Minderoo.
seen. Minderoo.
It's every name is something like that.
You had a couple O's on it.
Cockatoo,
So I was
Minderoo, Wallaby,
So anyway,
Wollongong.
Now I want to hear what your
Dingo.
Minderoo. I want to hear what your skeptical kind of Noel. What was your? That's pretty much it.
Every time I hear the phrase AI,
You think of the film with Haley Joel Osment and Is it Bruce Willis?
Probably.
I don't know.
No, they were in a movie about a ghost.
Oh, there's another. Is it Will Smith? Yeah, I think it's Will Smith. Anyway, go on.
Probably.
Yeah, sorry. I need to keep his name out of my mouth.
Keep his name out of your mouth. No, every time I hear AI, I want to know who's okay. So particularly if it's Aussies, because I know my people.
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's auditing the AI? Like who's
Crocodile Dundee.
who is looking at the yeah. He's probably then you'd know it was good. You know it was good because he's got a knife.
Yeah, he's got a knife. He's like, oh, I've got
He's
this
got a
data.
knife.
Got this data right here. Got from space.
So what's that algorithm?
Yeah,
He just cuts it in half.
Yeah, exactly.
No, well, like AI means that they're using computer technology to learn by itself.
Right.
How to discover something in order to determine what it is.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not like So it could be really good AI. It could be a really good algorithm. It could be really good technology that's accurately telling you exactly how much plastic is in a place or whatever. But the thing that I often wonder when you see AI is what are the biases by the person who programmed the AI in order to figure out what the algorithm is and how to pick up the plastic and where to see it and how accurate then is it?
Right.
Right?
Right.
Now, I'm not saying it. I'm not accusing them of making an inaccurate thing. I just want to know, like, this is a question that I would have.
You want to know who's behind Mindaroo?
A little bit.
Is it Nestle?
Is Nestle trying to take over
Are
the
they
plastic?
trying to take the plastic and what's it all about? Yeah, so it's fair. It's fair to be suspicious.
Well, just and the more they learn, the more accurate they're going to be at picking out where it is. But I just wonder how accurate.
Yeah. I mean,
it's going to be.
So it says, until now, it has been difficult to effectively identify and measure plastic pollution in a standardized way.
Standardized?
Says Dr. Andrew Forrest, chairman and co-founder of the Mindaroo.
Forrest.
Oh, sorry, Forrest. Forrest?
Forrest. He's Australian.
Forrest. Forrest, there we go. Generally, the world has no idea how dangerous plastic waste is to the organic environment, particularly humans. No, I think everybody knows that now. We all know plastic's bad for the planet.
If they haven't figured it out by now.
Come on, get with the program. I mean, I don't know. Are there people in the world who are like, plastic's great, throw it in the woods?
Probably.
But
I think that most people who have been paying attention to anything know that it's not ideal.
I hope so. I hope everybody who listens to the show knows that plastic is not great for the environment.
Right.
Okay. So this is the Global Plastic Watch.
Not in the way that we use it.
Yes, not in the way we use it. But anyway, so that's let's see if there's any other helpful one. 1 in the 5 of the mapped waste sites was within less than 250 meters of waterways that send plastic straight into rivers, ultimately the ocean.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things they're trying to find is like, how's this getting into our water? How's this getting in our food and all that stuff? So
that's a big problem. But I gotta give some credit to environmentalists around the world and government response to it is that there's a lot more now in the way where a lot of these sewers go, where a lot of the dumping goes.
Right.
Where they're doing something to catch it, to stop it.
That's true.
They're finally starting to do that, and that is a huge step.
Yes.
Yeah, and then step 2 is to use less plastic.
Step 2
again, use less. Can we do less? Can we just do less?
And so this is
drink from a glass.
This is again drink from a broken Knott's cup. We are saying yet again that we live in this day and age where there's technology. This goes back to environmentalism's dad.
Yeah, I remember environmentalism's dad.
That's you, which is environmentalism's dad is saying we need the tech. We need the innovation. We need the science. We need you to figure out where the plastic piles are. We need you to clean out acid out of the water. But as long as we don't lose sight of, also stop it.
Stop it.
Cut it out. Lessen it, right? That's environmentalism's dad, which is don't create technologies so that we can do more of the same. We need to reduce the things that we're doing by a mile. And then also we can innovate into these technologies. So as long as these innovations and technologies don't, 1, make excuses to do more, or 2, distract us from the goal, which is to keep things clean.
Right. You made me think about our conversation we had yesterday when we were walking.
Okay.
and it was a wild conversation. It was about.
They all are.
Yeah, they are.
They're all wild.
Why do we always talk about wild stuff?
We're so wild and unbridled. Wild stuff.
Yesterday we were talking about has technology advanced faster than we can keep up as people, right? And that one of the odd problems that we surmised maybe, and this is we are not doctors and we cannot say this officially. It's just we're just surmising.
Yeah.
That if you don't have enough, like if you don't have enough real problems, you don't have enough real things happening you have to deal with in any given moment, then it can lead to to real problems, to the way you interact with the world, to the way that you kind of live, right? Because you get to, more or less bored, I guess is the way to put it. But that some of the rise in depression and problems that we see kind of related to that could possibly, theoretically, according to our stupid conversation,
right,
be because we have maybe a technology may have outgrown us a little bit. This kind of what I'm kind of, my point that I'm getting to here is, if life is set up so that everything is automatic and so that all of your necessities are fulfilled immediately without you doing much of anything, then that gives you time to ponder.
Right.
And that's really, it's great. We need to have some pondering time. We need to have creativity time. A lot of wonderful things come from pondering and creativity, and I don't want that to go away. But all I'm saying is we've gotten to a point where we don't necessarily want to fix some of the things that would help the environment, because that makes it so easy to just not do anything.
Yeah.
But if we were to say to ourselves, well, hold on a second, we may have advanced a little too fast here, and maybe we should be taking the time and energy to do these extra, slightly more difficult things, to take that time to get life to be a bit more of just a regular daily struggle, to just make life more interesting and more rigorous, and to challenge us a bit more mentally so that we don't have the free time to ponder as much.
Yeah, and contribute to the problems because there's nothing else to do, right? So what we were talking about was, there was a time thousands of years ago where your only goal every day was to not die and to get food. Yeah. That was it. That was all you had, which was, today I could be eaten by a cheetah. Mm-hmm. And I also may not hunt and kill or gather any plants to feed myself or my family or whatever. And that used to pretty much be existence for quite a long while on this earth. And
your job was food.
Yeah, your job was food, and your other job was don't die today. Yeah. And so
make some kind of shelter. Keep get a fire going that doesn't go out. Right?
Yeah, so we've advanced so far, and we have all these creature comforts. We have air conditioning, we have cars, we have homes, we have food, we have fast food, we have all these things. And so the byproduct of advancing is that we can get the things that we need, and so that we can discard them easily and not think about it. But if you were to somehow get your mindset around, every single thing you consume, every single thing you do affects nature and the world around you. And it's that kind of maybe thinking our of what our ancestors must have been going through and importing it into the way that we think about the world today, in a way.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. Always having that at the back of your mind. I'm lucky to be alive. I'm lucky to have this meal. I value it, and I don't want to just throw it back in the garbage or what. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm kind of...
yes, you're right. Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's just a way of thinking.
No, you're absolutely right. It is. It's a change of mindset. It is. It's a change of mindset to think that life... On purpose, we've done a good job of making life a lot more livable than it was before. And I know that not everybody would agree with that statement, because I know that people do have hard times, and that there are a lot of difficulties that go on, and that's fair.
Sure.
I'm just saying on the balance, on the average, every day you're not necessarily going to be eaten by a woolly mammoth.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're that has changed, and the change of that, while mostly positive, I think has some negative side effects in that we don't look at survival in the same way as we used to.
Yes.
And I think that's a problem. And I think that if we shifted that, it could help the environment.
I agree.
Is that all we got?
That's all we got.
Okay. been a good show.
It's been a good show. We had some laughs. We taught some things, and we got really profound there at the end.
A little
about
bit.
The nature of being. That's fine. We used to do that on the old school Biofriendly Podcast all the time.
All the time.
So we wanted to bring people back and go, look, we're crazy, but we're also thinking too.
Right.
Right.
We're thinking crazy.
We're thinking crazy, but that's it. Those are the 3 stories we had. I guess we close it out with a little wrap up with our tags.
With our tags, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I'm sold on the Kevin Costner
Okay.
one. I know that we, you know,
We did it recently, but you don't
feel
want to
like-
do it.
I feel
But we
like-
had another new one that we added.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yes.
What was
it's,
it?
It is that Jacob's brain is constantly rebuilding itself.
Yes, Jacob's brain is constantly rebuilding itself. Okay,
Yeah.
so can we try that one?
Let's
though?
do that one.
Okay, so do you want me to say beacon of light or do you want to say beacon of light?
I think I have to say your brain is rebuilding itself.
Okay. We are your beacon of light in a gloomy environment.
Jacob's brain is constantly rebuilding itself.
And Elise and Veronica say,
Bye.
there you go.
We did it.
We did it.
It's the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.